I don't need to introduce this game. If you watch me, you know what Tasty Planet is, and you read the title. Let's get to it. The first record would be on the old version by Bart Jaw, performed on the 17th of December 2019, and submitted on the 3rd of February 2020, and whoa, I do not remember that smile being that big. The timer starts at 150 and counts down, but the final time taken in level will be counted. You'd use the arrow keys to move, and would eat the first big dirt clump in 27 seconds in. You need 15 big dirt clumps in total to finish with a time of 58 on the clock, or 52 seconds. This is still the old version world record to this day. Congrats! Now we move on to the new version, which removes the little goo thing on the top left, but on the bright side it counts milliseconds now. JDL would be the first one to submit a record on this version on the 13th of July 2020, using the old version graphics, the setting in the game. In this new version, more dirt particles could spawn, allowing him to eat the first big dirt clump 2 seconds faster, and JDL played on mouse, allowing him to make more precise movements. But where he would really shine was in how fast the big dirt clumps came. He would eat 16 of them in 10 seconds faster than Bart, with a 42.4, saving 9.6 seconds. Now even another version difference, with Fernatox on the 10th of April 2022 getting a 33.41, almost 9 seconds faster. But how? It is because on PC, the levels are finished when you reach 5 micrometers, but on mobile, the levels finished at 4.3 micrometers. This is shown clearly, as although Fernatox eats the first big dirt clump at the same time, he only needs 9 instead of 16 and finishes the level 8.99 seconds faster. Also, the first look at the new remastered graphics, and the timer's counting up this time as well, so that's pretty nice. You might see him using a joystick control instead of normal tap to move, and that's because it makes you go faster for some reason. Because of these differences, the PC record will still be mentioned. Bubbly819 would come into the scene on the 8th of December 2023 with a whole lot of RNG on his side. This record, despite being 1.91 seconds slower than the mobile record, is way more impressive. He would eat the first dirt clump 4 seconds faster than anybody had, at 21 seconds in. He would then have two huge big dirt clump clusters, eating 20 in total, taking 7.08 seconds off the previous PC record, with a 35.32. This is where everything would stay until the 3rd of March 2025, where Nestmaster GD, some nobody or something, would beat the mobile record as his first submission to the game. This loser played on Tasty Planet Lite because he couldn't even afford the actual game. This version is identical to standard mobile release though. Nestmaster beat the first Big Dirt Clump at 22 seconds in, 1 second behind Bubbly. This was a different category, so he only needed to eat 12 to get a 30.94, taking 2.47 seconds off. Nestmaster wasn't a one and done. He would return 13 days later on the 16th with a 29.84, breaking the 30-second barrier. He would still eat the first big dirt clump at 22 seconds, and would still eat 12 of them, but the difference was how fast they came. Like Bubbly, there is a cluster of big dirt clumps, and Nestmaster would take full advantage. With the barrier broken and 1.1 seconds taken off, you might think this was over, but not yet. 15 days later now, on the 31st, he would beat the mobile record by 1.4 seconds, getting a 28.44. Not only was this a new world record, but it also made it the shortest level in Tasty Planet Light, beating out Lab 3. But that's a story for another time. This record is strange, as he ate the first big dirt clump at 22 seconds, and had no large clusters of big dirt clumps. Instead, they are more spread out and consistent, but more importantly, bigger on average. This would have him more size, and eating 13 of them would guarantee this win. This next record I'm about to show you is different from any others. Was it the first to be beaten by less than 1 second? No. Was it on iOS? No, that category is still empty as I'm making this. Free category, by the way. No. This is remarkable because it is the single luckiest speedrun in Tasty Planet 1. Period. What was the time? A 27? A 26? No. A 23.2. This time, the tiny dirt particles would be a major talking point. Just look at that. He would eat the first big dirt clump at 16 seconds. 16! The big dirt clump sided with him that day too, the 4th of April 2025, with a very good gradient on small to large ones and eating 14. Nestmaster GD said, "This will stand for years," and he might be right, as this record took 5.24 seconds off and is very nearing its first anniversary without being beaten. In fact, nobody else has gotten to sub 30 on mobile. By the way, what was happening on PC? The final record that would happen on this level would be a 33.1 by Skrs on PC on the 26th of January 2026. Using the old graphics, you'd take 2.22 seconds from the old world record. But now the script is flipped because the PC record isn't as impressive as the mobile one. In fact, the mobile record would reach 4.3 micrometers at 23.2, while the PC one would do exactly 5 seconds slower. Not to discredit Skrs, he would get 19 big dirt clumps and eat the first one at 20 seconds. And that's where the world record stands for Lab 1. If you would like to be a part of history, you could be the only person in history to be my 53rd subscriber, or maybe even get a world record on Lab 2, which will be covered next. Bye!